no calories. And Andrew, a world first.
I thought I'd mention this just after the teas, because some folks like to put things in their tea to sweeten it, even though those teas are the peppermint, the chamomile, they're naturally sweet. And of course, the peppermint with green tea, naturally sweet, just because of the nature of chamomile and the nature of peppermint. And our peppermint and chamomile never get bitter. You could steep them for not just minutes, but hours or days, and they won't get bitter. But our Sucress, we introduced it, and basically we're down to the last, it doesn't sound like much, the last few 100,000 packets. By a few 100,000 packets, the large size is 500, the middle size is 250, the smaller size is 100. So a few 100,000 packets isn't that many boxes. So what this is, it's our brand new non-GMO stevia extract. You will not find this quality, this purity stevia extract in any other packeted sweetener anywhere in the world. Nope. And all the other packeted sweeteners out there, all the ones that I looked at, all of them, without exception, all of the most popular ones certainly, all contain sugar, an alcohol sugar, or they contain carbohydrate. Most of them simply contain sugar. So it's just sort of a strange thing, because these sweeteners are what? They're sugar replacements or sugar substitutes. That's what they're called. So they all contain, they replace a 4-gram sugar packet with 1 gram of sugar, oddly enough, and then the sweetener. So what we do here is, rather than putting in a gram of sugar or some alcohol sugar or something like that, there's an amino acid, because I've been doing what I do for so many decades. There's an amino acid, which, even though amino acids are protein, the highest quality calories we generally look to what we consume daily, there's an amino acid, which is a component of protein, and it's sweet. It's bizarrely sweet. It's strange that an amino acid, that protein is actually sweet. We expect carbohydrate, sugars to be sweet, but not protein. But glycine it's uniquely the simplest and the most versatile of amino acids. It's basically just an amino group and a carboxylic acid group. It's the simplest of the amino acids, and it's sweet. I discovered it when about 40 years ago, we were making a children's vitamin tablet, and I refused to use sugar or sweeteners to sweeten the tablet. Stevia didn't exist at that time. So I had this brilliant idea of using glycine, and it worked. And 40 years later, when I'm trying to think of what can we put with our amazing stevia, because you need something to carry it in the packet, because otherwise the stevia is lost in the packet. It's such a small amount because it's such an intense sweetener. And I thought about the glycine. It's protein-based, it's not carb, not sugar, not alcohol sugar. It's also, glycine is an amino acid that many people take as a supplement for support of healthy blood sugar control and blood sugar balance. So it's the perfect ingredient, and it enhances the sweetness of the stevia. So it's the most unique sweetener that you're going to see on the market. And we have just a few hundred available in each size, and then it will go away probably until I'm back in June, at least.
This gentleman is way too modest. Folks, if I could jump up and down and have a brass band and fireworks, that's what I would have right now. This is revolutionary for any person out there that currently uses any type of sweetener product, any of the big name brands. You don't want to use sugar because we know we shouldn't have so much sugar, so we go to the artificial sweeteners. This is what you'll replace that sweetener with. This one has 0 calories and is absolutely the best tasting. There's no bitterness to it. It's brilliant. I ordered ours yesterday before, no, the day before yesterday when I was on with Andrew. We have at this stage less than 400 left of the largest size, which is 500. If you want the 250, we're now under 300, and the rest of the quantity is going to be in the 100. Quickly show you the pricing. As Andrew mentioned, when this sells out in the next few minutes, this will not be back till much later this year. Andrew, you are full of bright ideas.
I don't taste it on its own. I taste it when I use it, but I just was tasting it on the own. I emptied it out onto the counter here. And because of the glycine, it has just this amazing, cool sweetness. And each little packet is between 2 to 3 teaspoons. So for many of you, a packet might last a couple of beverages, a couple of cups of tea. And because of its solubility, it works perfectly with iced tea. You won't have to struggle with its solubility. But it's natural, it's non-GMO. I've never been a big fan of stevia, unless I would use the stevia leaf itself. But this stevia extract doesn't have any of that bitter finish or aftertaste that is typical of normal stevia. It's the cleanest sweetness you're going to find. And with the glycine, it's 0 carb or sugar calories. And even though those other products, they're all, if your sweetener is less than 5 calories, you can say it's non-caloric, 0 calories. But those other sweeteners contain sugars, or alcohol sugars, or carbohydrate. Ours contains a healthy constituent of protein, which is the highest. Well, to give you an idea, I'm not sure if we have the charts right here. You might have them there.
Let me see.
There's,
no.
Yeah, you could give me those last two. You give me that, please. Thank you. Here, if we look here, this one's fine. Glycine. We have a gram of glycine, that's 500 milligrams times 2 in each packet. So a gram of glycine instead of a gram of sugar in each packet.
Right.
And that's, if you were buying in the 100 count, the 250 count, or the 500 count, if you were buying glycine online, and these are all, you know, very, very good brands of glycine, yeah. Respectable brands. This is how much in the small size, which today is $19.90. You'd spend more just for the glycine. And look on the 500 count, which is $69.90. That's how much glycine would cost you, because people purchase glycine to support healthy blood sugar metabolism. So glycine is an independent, talk about a functional food. Not only is this a natural sweetener, but it's a functional food that's also there to help support healthy blood sugar and healthy blood sugar metabolism.
It's like anything Andrew does, it's the best in the world. So here's what I'm saying. Anybody who is using any type of sweetener right now, I don't believe it's anywhere near as good as this, and also I don't believe it tastes as good as this. And I had just opened some and was doing exactly what Andrew was in terms of just...
and it is intensely sweet, because glycine on its own is sweet, and it has a wonderful, cool sweetness that really combines perfectly with the natural sweetness of stevia. And stevia's been around for 1,500 years. So stevia's been around and been used in South America as a natural sweeteners for food and beverages long before we got here, so well more than 1,000 years before that. So it's something, you'll be thrilled when you try it. We've already gotten so many requests for making a version of this, a bulk version of this for cooking. Right. And we're looking at that, because we don't want to add carbohydrate to do it, and so it's more complicated to make something that works for cooking.
I said to Andrew yesterday, these are the moments I love, standing next to a world launch product like that.
No, there is nothing like the sweetener. I tend to be, I guess, very modest the way I approach these things and talk about the science and technology and the differences, but it truly is a unique product.
And not to labor the point, I apologize.